everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Black Liberation Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renée Jordan, and today we are going to pick up where we left off with the Module 1 exploration of the AI for Student Success Homework Help Lab. So let's go ahead and head over to the Black Liberation Tech website. This time we'll go straight to the English side. We're going to select more because the Janai GPT tab or menu option was hidden underneath more, and we'll select the Ag STEM Career Discovery Lab. And if you are interested in something other than STEM, you're welcome to enter the information in for whatever topic or class or course you're interested in getting help with by using the AI for Student Success module. So we went through the opening portion. We're here in module 1. We talked about Nevaeh in the cover story, and we also talked about Rosario. And now we are using this prompt, and we're going to enter in the information that Janai GPT created for me to use for Jasmine so that you can see what it looks like when you fill in this prompt with your information. And once again, it is not a script, it is a template, so you're allowed to use as much or as little as you want. Personalize it so that it is tailored to you, but keep in mind, you don't want to put in any of your personal identifiable information. All right, so let's head over to this new window for Janai GPT. In case you're joining us just today, you can go to more if Janai is not showing on the website, and you can go to start a conversation to begin a conversation with Janai. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste the information for Jasmine and give it a read. So here's what it says. Hi, I am taking Introduction to Digital Media and Technology. I am currently learning about digital literacy, information overload, and evaluating online information. Here is the passage, section, or concept I am trying to understand. Okay. Digital literacy involves more than just knowing how to use a phone, computer, application, or website. It also includes knowing how to locate information, evaluate its reliability, protect personal information, communicate responsibly, and create digital content. Online environments provide access to enormous amounts of information, but having more information does not always make learning easier. Information overload can occur when a person encounters more material than they can reasonably organize, evaluate, or use. Digital learners can respond by clarifying their purpose, selecting trustworthy sources, comparing information, taking organized notes, and pausing to decide what is most relevant to their goals. So next, it says, please help me understand this material. Do not simply summarize it. Instead, explain it using age-appropriate language, identify important vocabulary, define key terms, explain why the concept matters, connect it to ideas I may already know, including social media, online research, digital safety, and managing too many open tabs or resources. Create 5 questions that help me check my understanding. I am responsible for learning this material myself. Your role is to be my tutor, not my replacement. So we're going to go ahead and hit send. We're going to have to hit retry and send it again. All right, let's see what Janai had to say. Great approach. I'll treat this like a tutoring session rather than just restating the passage. Big idea. Think of digital literacy like learning to drive a car. Knowing how to press the gas pedal and steer is only the beginning. A good driver also knows how to read road signs, how to avoid dangerous situations, how to make good decisions, and how to get to the right destination safely. Similarly, a digitally literate person knows how to think while using technology, not just how to operate it. Important vocabulary. Digital literacy. Definition. The ability to use digital technology effectively, safely, critically, and responsibly. It includes several skills: finding information, deciding whether information is trustworthy, protecting your privacy, communicating respectfully online, and creating digital content. Example: someone who can download TikTok is using technology. Someone who can recognize a fake news story, protect their password, and create a well researched presentation is demonstrating digital literacy. Number two, information overload. Definition: having so much information that it becomes difficult to understand, organize, or make decisions. Your brain has limits. Imagine searching best laptop for college. You might get YouTube reviews, Reddit discussions, Amazon reviews, manufacturer websites, blogs, comparison charts, AI summaries. Instead of helping, all those sources can make choosing harder. That's information overload. Reliable or trustworthy information. Definition: information that is accurate, supported by evidence, and comes from credible sources. Reliable sources often cite evidence, explain where information comes from, are written by experts, are updated regularly. Less reliable sources might exaggerate, spread rumors, use emotional language instead of facts, or leave out evidence. Evaluate. Definition: to carefully judge the quality or accuracy of something. When evaluating information, ask questions like: who created this? Why did they create it? Is there evidence? Does another trustworthy source agree? Evaluation means thinking before believing. Digital content. Definition: anything created using digital technology. Examples include videos, photos, podcasts, websites, social media posts, blogs, presentations, or even memes. Being digitally literate means creating content responsibly as well. Why this concept matters. Technology gives us access to more information than any generation before us. That's powerful, but it creates new challenges. Imagine two students researching climate change. Student A opens 45 tabs, clicks every link, saves everything, gets overwhelmed, doesn't know what to use. Student B starts with one clear research question, uses a few trustworthy sources, takes organized notes, compares information, chooses only what answers the question. Both students had access to the same internet. The difference is digital literacy, not internet speed. Connecting it to things you already know. Social media. Every day you see videos, opinions, advertisements, influencers, news, and AI generated images. Digital literacy helps you ask, is this true? Is this edited? Is someone trying to persuade me? Is this an advertisement? What evidence supports this claim? Instead of automatically believing everything in your feed, you learn to think critically. Online research. Suppose your teacher asks, research renewable energy. A digital literate student doesn't just click the first Google result. Instead, they compare several sources, check publication dates, look for expert authors, and they verify facts. Research is about finding good information, not just more information. Digital safety. Digital literacy also protects you. Examples include creating strong passwords, recognizing phishing emails, avoiding suspicious links, deciding what personal information should stay private, understanding app permissions. Knowing how to stay safe online is just as important as knowing how to use apps. Too many open tabs. This is one of the easiest examples of information overload. Imagine writing a paper while you have 27 browser tabs, 3 PDFs, 2 YouTube videos, several AI chats, and multiple notes. Eventually, your attention becomes divided. Instead of learning faster, your brain spends more energy remembering where everything is. That's why the passage recommends having a clear purpose, taking organized notes, and deciding what information is actually useful. Sometimes closing tabs helps your brain as much as opening new ones. How to handle information overload. The passage gives several strategies. Here's why each one works. Strategy, why it helps. Here's the first strategy. Clarify your purpose. Knowing your goal keeps you from reading unrelated information. Choose trustworthy sources. Better information saves time later. Compare information. One source can be wrong. Multiple reliable sources improve accuracy. Take organized notes. Your brain doesn't have to remember everything. Decide what is most relevant. Not every interesting fact belongs in your assignment. Notice that these strategies aren't about reading more, they're about thinking better. A simple analogy. Imagine you're grocery shopping without a shopping list. You wander every aisle, buy random things, forget what you actually needed, and spend too much time. With a shopping list, you know your goal, ignore distractions, finish faster, and leave with what you need. Research works the same way. Your research question is your shopping list. Common misconceptions. Misconception. If information is online, it's probably true. Reality. Anyone can publish information online. Digital literacy means checking whether it's reliable. Misconception. The more sources I open, the better. Reality. More sources can become information overload if you can't organize or evaluate them. Misconception. Digital literacy only means knowing technology. Reality. Technology skills are only one part. Critical thinking, safety, communication, and evaluating information are equally important. Check your understanding. Try answering these without looking back first. How is digital literacy different from simply knowing how to use a smartphone or computer? Number two, what is information overload? And what are two situations where it might happen during schoolwork or everyday internet use? Number three, why is it important to compare information from multiple trustworthy sources instead of relying on just one? Number four, imagine you're researching a topic and already have 30 browser tabs open. Which strategies from the passage could help you become more organized and why? Number five, you're scrolling through social media and see a surprising claim with no evidence. How would a digitally literate person decide whether to trust or share that information? If you can answer those questions in your own words, you'll be demonstrating understanding of the concepts, not just memorizing definitions. Okay, so thank you, Janiyah, for that. What I'm going to do, I have copied the response and I've saved it on my Word document that's on the side. So let's go ahead and keep moving through the module. What we're going to do, we're going to push pause here. And next week, we will come back. With all of that being said, thank you for listening to another episode of the Black Liberation Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renée Jordan. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share, rate, and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. And until next time, take care. Bye-bye.